Hello, my name is Zafra Daines. I'm your host here at Maceys Cooking Corner, where we bring local chefs and local cooks together and they make beautiful, delicious meals, snacks, and treats. And today I have the lovely Chantel. Hello, Chantel.
Hello.
And local too.
Hi.
And Chantel, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am a chef. I studied culinary art in college, and I am so passionate about food, in particular healthy food, kid-friendly food, so I'm so glad you're here, especially with your daughter, that's the best. And I teach gourmet cooking classes for young and old. So I have classes for tweens, ages 8 to 12, teens, 13 to 19, and then I also have an adult series once a month. So It's really fun, yeah, and it's basically the objective is to teach people the life skill of cooking, so that by the time my kids are done with the semester or a year or however long they want to take, at the end of each semester, we have what's called a black box, where I give them mystery ingredients based on techniques we've studied throughout the semester. And I give them the ingredients, and their creativity goes wild. We make a 3-course meal for mom and dad, and we make it happen.
Wow.
So, yep.
Fabulous.
It's exciting. It's so much fun, and the kids love it. It's just the best experience ever. So
and we have you here in the house today.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So what are you going to do today?
So today is easy, kid-friendly, healthy snacks. So I'm going to start with the easiest of all, which is a green smoothie. This is the best way to get some serious nutrition in a small package.
Okay.
And this is something that even my kids will eat. I have a 10-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old, and they're very particular, every single one of them. Yes. And it just seems to get worse with age. I don't know what that's about, but you know, and I get it, their palate is still developing, so I try not to be too critical. But this is a great way to make something very nutritious and an alternative. I mean, there's so many options that we have with smoothies, but this is a basic one that you will have where we can really tweak it however we want to.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can do anything as complicated as like you could have more exotic ingredients, you know, some more interesting spices. If you want to do like a pumpkin smoothie, you know, then you can add the cardamom and all these other delicious flavors. But this is basic, super basic. So here I have a whole medium banana. Okay, and this is one of my favorite fruit blends. It has strawberries, mangoes, papayas, and pineapple.
Is that like a packet?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, frozen. Of course, fresh is great. I like frozen because it makes it a little more frothy.
Yes.
I think it blends nicer. When things are super fresh, it's just a little more runny, so you want to reduce your water content.
Right.
But, and vice versa, if you're used to using fresh ingredients and you use frozen, you're going to need a lot more water than usual, almost twice as much. Just to make sure you don't burn your motor on your blender. And I have an awesome blender. This has stood the test of time, let me tell you. So I have the banana, I have a frozen berry blend. Any combination of berries that you like is perfect. Whatever's cheap at the grocery store.
Right.
You know, Macy's.
That's right.
Get it. Okay, here I have medjool dates. These are the best dates because they're the biggest. You can get smaller dates and they're delicious, but you have to pit them. You know, you have to get a lot more out. So let me show you what this is. This is the date, and inside of every date is called the pit. So you know how cherries have pits inside of them?
Yes.
So do dates. And we just want to throw that away. So we just gently open it up and then just
I love that. I just love to just eat them as well.
Oh yeah, dates are so good. And they're so high in fiber. They're really, really good for you, and it really scratches the sweet tooth so nicely.
Right.
And this is a beautiful combination, a beautiful addition to our smoothies because they blend really nicely. Sometimes you might have to blend it twice. I mean, I'll find a date chunk in my smoothie every now and then, just reblend it.
Yeah.
Yep, but it's still delicious, and even then I don't even mind because then I get half a date.
There you go.
That's good. I like dates. Okay, here is some chia seed. So the reason I chose chia seed, now again, you can alternate, you can put so many different combinations of ingredients that you want in here. I like chia because it's a cleansing seed.
Right.
People don't know a lot about it. We know about aloe vera and how that's a very cleansing juice and a very cleansing plant. Chia has the same properties. Basically anything that gelatinizes naturally in water, when you digest it, it can scoop up the impurities and help get it out of your body. And so chia is one of those, and I'm all about that.
So how much do you put in there?
So this is about a tablespoon
Okay.
of chia seed, and it is going to make your smoothie a little more gelatin.
So when you say gelatin, is that like some kind of jelly thing? Or?
Yeah, and think of it in that way. So it's like the texture will be a little bit more jelly-like, gelatinous, but it's, so you want to limit the amount of chia you put in there, or else it's kind of going to gross you out. So a tablespoon is perfect for these quantities. And then I love coconut oil. It's so good, and it adds a nice sweetness to your smoothie without having to add any sugar. This has no sugar in it. My frozen berries have no sugar in it whatsoever. I'm very careful about my sugar intake because I am a sugar freak, and the little bit that I taste can just send me over the edge, where I'm just trying to eat a whole cake in a day, So I have to limit my quantities so much in order to not get out of control. And then the best part are the greens. So I have spinach. I love spinach because it's very neutral. You can put a ton of it in, and the kids aren't going to know. They're going to know the color. So if your kids are adverse to color, that might be an issue. But if you freeze these, make these into popsicles, a lot of times they don't even care. And these are such a great snack for after games, basketball games, football games. When we're in the hot season, this is such a good snack to just pull out. So fast to make, and it's super healthy. And if you're worried about your kids' protein intake, you can make a protein smoothie instead. Super easy, right?
What do you use for protein?
So for protein, I am vegan. So my favorite brand is called Vega, V-E-G-A. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Super low calorie count, really high protein. So you can get, depending on which formula you get between 20 and 25 grams of protein per serving.
Wow.
For about
it's plant-based.
All plant-based. All plant-based. Nice. And we're talking about 170 calories. For 20 to 25 grams of protein, that's serious. I mean, serious nutrition. And I work out a lot, and so, well, not a lot for me. I should say that. I know people who's are just, their life is working out. That's not me. I just mean I work out for like a half an hour every day. That's a lot for me. It's hard for me to do that.
We can fit that in.
Then it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And so, I like to keep my calorie count low. I like to really monitor what I eat, but more importantly, I want to make it good. I don't want to spend the time making food if I'm not going to like it.
That's right.
But I want to give my kids nutrition too. If it's important to put in my body, it's important to put in theirs. Even more so, right?
Getting there.
So do I use that water over here?
Oh.
Thank you, my dear. Okay, so then we're going to use about 2 cups of water, which is this delicious Western Family water bottle right here.
Yes.
Okay.
All your ingredients here at Macy's.
Yes, we sure can. Yes, ma'am. Okay, it's going to get a little noisy. Bear with me. Blender is no joke. It's awesome. Ooh-wee. See, I love them all. They're all good. Okay, so this is going to it only takes about 30 seconds to make the smoothie. So that's part of why I love it. Oh. Thank you.
So how long was that, would you say?
About 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, super easy. I'm starting easy to a little more complicated. We're working our way up here. Okay, now I'm going to taste it and make sure it tastes okay. And if I want it a little bit sweeter, I have some stevia. I had some spoons out here, but I don't know where I put them. So I'm just going to get these out, okay? Okay. So I'm going to taste. Now this, you see how it's getting a little more gelatinous?
Yes. And a little bit thicker, isn't it?
I'm going to want a little bit more sweet, especially for the kiddos. For me, it's fine.
She likes some?
I don't need a lot of sweet, but for the kiddos, I'm going to add just 2 drops of stevia. This is a sweet leaf extract, no sugar. It's all the rage right now.
Where'd you get this?
This particular one I got from Sprouts, but you can get stevia here.
Yeah.
I like the drops better than the granulated stuff because I feel like it's just a little more potent. I don't know if there's any legitimacy to that whatsoever.
Right.
I'm just saying I like the drops better. Okay, 1 more second. Okay, bear with me. I can still see the date in there too, but it'll be fine. Okay, another tasteroo. So, and if the texture of the chia, making it a little more gelatinous, is not, your kids don't like it, by all means leave it out.
Right.
Not a big deal. For adults who are okay with it, muy bien.
Is that good?
You taste it. Tell me if you think there's a little more sweet.
I'm going to taste it and see.
A lower cup?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna do
Tell me if you think it needs a little more sweet. I think it's fine, but good, right?
Yeah, this is perfect.
Okay, see, I'm a little,
Yum.
I get a little nervous about it because my kids are always like, we want more sweet. But you can see the coconut oil in there.
Yeah, and the coconut makes it.
It's so good, right?
Yes.
So, so good. Okay, come get it. You get a little taste. Let me make you a bigger one. What am I doing? I'm shorthanding you the smoothies. Have some more. Have lots, please. Okay. Next on the agenda are one of my favorite snacks that I love, love, love.
Really?
I love peanut butter. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it too much. I wish I didn't like it as much as I do. So we're gonna make what I call the nut butter balls. Now you can use almond butter, you can use peanut butter, you can use cashew butter, walnut butter, you can use whatever kind you want.
Okay.
You could even use tahini, which is sesame seed butter. I don't know that I would really recommend it a whole lot.
Kind of a weird
It has a
taste
really
to
earthy taste to
yes.
it. Not a lot of people like it, but if some people are crazy about it. So if you like it, by all means, you could use it. It's just a little more runny. So you would need to add more oats. But I'm just saying, you could customize this to suit your palate and what you know your family likes. And that's why I chose these particular dishes to demonstrate is how customizable they are. So here I have a half a cup of peanut butter because that's my personal favorite.
Okay.
You could use almond butter.
Do you have a preference as far as label goes, or?
I just like the peanut butters that are actual peanut butter, no added sugar.
Yeah.
I'm all about the natural peanut butter because we're going to be adding honey. We're going to be adding the sweet ourselves. And I like to be able to control how much sugar I put into my food.
Absolutely.
Because again, I go a little crazy. My kids go a little crazy very easily. We're super sensitive to it. So I'm very careful about how much I put in my food. And then here we have a 1/4 cup of honey. Now, some people who struggle with allergies get local honey. And make these, especially if your kids.
If it says raw honey.
Raw, local honey.
Honey, yeah.
Make these for your kiddos. Give them to them when we're approaching allergy season for that particular child, whether it's the spring or the fall. For me, it's a little bit of both. I've noticed once I became vegan, my allergies are not an issue unless I've been eating a little naughty. Then they do come back. But if I'm being good, they're not an issue. But if your kids struggle with seasonal allergies, this is a really good way to get some local. Not that it's hard to get your kids to eat honey.
Right.
I mean, but I'm just saying, you could.
All kids love yummy.
Right? Absolutely. So here we have 1 cup of old-fashioned oats. I really recommend the nice hearty oats, not the quick oats. I mean, you could use them if that's what you have.
yes.
But
What's the difference for you? Do you think the hard, this type and the instant?
in the instant is a different process. Like the instant is a much smaller flake as well, and so it gets mushy a lot easier. The function of the oats is to give it a structure as well as nutrition, and so it's really nice to maintain that structure. You could use the quick cooking oats by all means, but I feel like it gets a little more starchy. The texture gets a little more mealy. Does that make sense? I like the hearty oats in this. I love the texture. If your kids, again, are super sensitive to textures, don't like a lot of crunch, they like everything smooth, by all means, use a quick oat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you could also use a 6-grain cereal here, uncooked.
Okay. Yes.
But you know what I mean? Those 6-grain hot cereal kind of things that you could do.
You can adapt.
Absolutely.
Start here and then figure out.
I'm all about adapting to what is realistic for you and your family. Because if you're making crazy stuff, and this, I'm speaking from personal experience. I make some really outlandish stuff sometimes because I just like to experiment. And my kids are not big fans, to be honest with you. I have to stay pretty close to home. I got to stay a little grounded with what I'm feeding my kids because they will not cooperate if it doesn't taste good. They're not about to have it. So do what works for your kiddos. And really, peanut butter is the most kid-friendly nut butter there is.
Love that, yes.
Almond butter does have a different taste. So if you know they're going to like peanut butter, give them some peanut butter. Now, as a substitution for honey, you could use agave syrup. It's a little more runny than honey, but it's very comparable.
The same.
Agave is very different. Agave has a low glycemic index, so the blood sugar, the insulin to blood sugar ratio is smaller, so your blood sugar doesn't spike as much with agave syrup. With honey, part of the scandal behind honey and why some people frown upon it as a sweetener is that it's pre-digested from the bees. So your sugar spike is pretty high as a result. So again, if you're sensitive to sugar, you are going to want to monitor your honey intake. Agave is a fantastic substitute, but it has a slightly different flavor, right?
Yeah.
It's very similar to honey, but it is different. And again, kids are super sensitive to this stuff. So you got to be careful. Do what will work for your kids. Do what you know they will like. Okay, so super easy. Just put that together, right?
Wow.
Now this, I forgot to get a bowl for this one. Yeah, will you get it? Thank you. So here I have a really fantastic superfood cereal. It's called Chia. This particular one has chia, buckwheat, and hemp cereal. And the reason why I love it, again, chia has the cleansing properties and some really healthy fats. The hemp cereal it's a really high protein, rich, plant-based food. So you can get a lot of protein. It's a very clean protein, very bioavailable, meaning that your body can absorb the protein immediately. A lot of times when we eat meats and whatnot, the process of digestion is really hard on our systems. And the actual amount that we absorb, it's not as good as you think it would be. Even though it's really high in protein, it isn't as bioavailable. So hemp is one of the best, most bioavailable plant-based sources of protein that you can get. So with this particular one, you kind of want to stir it a little bit because the chia, since it's the smallest item in here, likes to settle at the bottom. So we just mix it up, and this particular one has like some craisins, and it's a little bit sweetened with vanilla. But you can use granola. Granola is so, so, so good with these. Love, love, love them. Or, you know what, like if your kids like honey grams, cut them up, and process them for a minute, you know what I mean, get it a little flaky. You can mix it in honey grams. I'm just saying, like, again, adapt it so that it works for you and your family, and it's something that your kids would enjoy. I'm all about baby steps. I'm all about making it realistic for you and your family. Every little bit really does count. We get way too hard on ourselves as moms that everything has to be perfect, and, you know, I mean, my kids have their fair share of unhealthy meals on a very regular basis. We're a very busy family. We do eat fast food. I know I'm not supposed to like openly admit that, but it's true. And it's just the reality of life, you know? So when we have the time to do things like this, let's make it count. Okay, so then you're just going to take a little scoop. This is one of my favorite things. You can also make fantastic cookies with these. It's just the best size scoop ever. You can get it at stores like Bosch. Macy's here carries the bigger ones.
Oh, do they? Not the small ones.
Last I was here, they didn't. But maybe they've, you know what I mean?
That's right.
Or if you really want a big one, use the biscuit size ones. You know what I mean? That's my size. Yeah. And then you're just going to roll it in the cereal. Okay?
This is all uncooked, or are you going to cook this tonight?
Nope. Oh. All raw. All raw, baby. Again, we're making it count. We're making every little bit count. Do you want to put these on a napkin and then we can give them to our friends over there? I'll make a few of them right now. Then you can try one as well. Super easy, right?
Yes.
I mean, it would have come together a lot faster if I weren't chatting so much.
Oh, that's the joy of cooking.
It's the best. Yes.
It's beautiful.
So you can see the hemp, it's in its entirety, and we also have some almond slices here as well. Now, obviously, if your kids have nut allergies, this is not a good option for them. But as long as that's not an issue, by all means, this is a good way to go. Okay?
Right.
Okay. One last roll. This one's for you. Okay. All right, my dear.
Oh, I'm going to try. It's delicious.
Okay, I'm going to rinse off my hands really fast.
That did not take that long.
No, comes together super, super, super fast.
It's non-sticky. I thought it'd be quite sticky.
No,
Kinda.
with it rolling in the cereal, it's not nearly as sticky. And again, you can use granola instead, or whatever cereal that you like. You like it? It's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And I have recipes here as well, so that you can take whatever you want.
So how much did you put? So you just poured it like a cup or so?
Yeah, of the peanut butter or of the cereal?
Of the cereal.
Yeah, about a cup. I mean, we probably won't even need that much for how much that I used. It'd probably be like half a cup is great. Kids would like that, right?
Lunches.
Yeah.
This is great.
Roll them up in saran wrap, send them out the door,
Yeah.
have them on a plate for when they get home from school. They're going to grab
ready.
that first
Exactly.
thing.
Because my children are always famished on the way home
Yes.
from school, and we're always, again, fast food because you want to fill them.
Yeah.
But this is perfect.
And you have a drive too.
And I have a drive.
You have such a drive,
Half
yeah.
an hour. So.
And that's in good traffic.
And that's in good traffic.
So you've got to have
So-
something. And this would be easy for you, right? Like
I
this
could
is
prepare-
realistic.
Yeah, make this, put it in the fridge, take it on the way home.
Yep. Yep. I want it to be realistic.
Yes,
Yep.
love it.
And again, most of these ingredients you'll have some kind of sweetener on hand, liquid sweetener. Most of us have some kind of honey or something like that, and nut butter with kids.
Right,
We
yes.
always have something like that. Some kind of cereal you could roll it in.
That's
Some
very true.
vanilla. I don't know that I mentioned I put a teaspoon of vanilla in there.
No, you didn't.
Sorry. There is some
That's
vanilla.
really good.
I'm glad you like it.
Love
Okay,
it.
so again, this is very obvious, but I do want to talk about it because I can't emphasize it enough. Making a simple vegetable platter.
Oh,
Chopping up some veggies in the morning. Moms, I know we're so sleep deprived, and it kills me to even say this. But if we could
Exactly.
even wake up 15 minutes earlier,
yeah. Yes.
put some veggies on a plate, a dip that they'll like,
In the morning.
right. Saran wrap it. When you get home, take it out of the fridge. First thing, set it on the table.
perfect.
First thing you do when you walk through the door. This is what I have to do when I get home from work.
Really?
Is unwrap it, put it on the table, and they will eat it.
Oh.
Because if I don't have something immediately accessible to
Yes,
them,
absolutely.
especially my 10-year-old,
Yes.
he will just grab whatever he can
Everything.
find,
That's
and then
right.
he spoils his appetite.
That's right.
With the veggie platter, he's not going to spoil his appetite. He will be still hungry for dinner.
Right.
He's not going to overdo it.
That's very true.
Again, fruit. There's nothing better than a fresh sliced pineapple.
Right.
So good, and it's very filling, it's very satisfying, but you're not going to overdo it.
Right.
So if we could even just eke out, you know what I
little
mean?
bit, yes.
A little bit of time to do a little preparation, it's going to pay off so
the long
much.
run, yes.
Yeah, because the kids are going to, and myself as well. If I have the veggie platter there to go, I have something to eat when I get home.
Absolutely. Exactly.
And I'm not going to spoil my
Yeah,
appetite.
That's right. I do the same thing. I
Right.
clean the cupboards.
Yeah, I'm just as famished as they are.
That's right.
And I really don't feel like cooking after a hard day's work. So
No.
I got to keep it simple
That's
for
right.
dinner.
Yes.
And so I need to, making a really healthy snack is just so important to our family.
Yeah.
Okay, the next thing I'm gonna make here is what I call cracker pizzas. Now, we love the Triscuits. We can't get
Yes.
enough of these things. And
How many ingredients?
I'm telling you, right? And I'm telling you, they're coming
Fabulous.
with it. Triscuit
Yes.
has arrived. Like, they have made the best flavors lately.
And you can get this at Macy's.
Absolutely. This is a Macy's purchase. Please buy here.
That's right.
Okay, do you want to just arrange some on the platter for me?
Sure, yeah.
Now, again, super customizable. Use ingredients that you know your family will love. We can keep it super simple. So I've sliced up really thinly some cucumber, okay? Now in the middle here, I have what's called Daya cheese. Have you ever had Daya cheese?
I have not.
Girl, it's gonna
This
rock your world.
right here?
Yes. So where Daya cheese really shines is in a grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh,
it has the melty, gooey, delicious
Yes.
factor.
Oh, yeah.
This is more of a spreadable, cream cheesy kind of
Okay,
substitution, but their sliced cheeses are no joke. They are so good, especially if you don't normally eat dairy. Now I'm not gonna lie, if you are a dairy freak, Daya is not gonna do it for
Gonna
you.
help.
My
So
husband
Daya
is not
is
okay with it. It's the brand.
It's a brand. Oh,
And
okay.
but it has come. I mean, non-dairy cheeses, I would never eat.
no.
I tried them. I spent way too much money on them, and they
Yeah.
were terrible.
Right.
But this is really, really good. And we don't eat. My kids are omnivores. They eat everything.
Yes.
Because my husband's an omnivore. I'm a vegan.
Right.
We have to marry the two.
Absolutely.
Try to keep it peaceful. And so. I really try to monitor their dairy and limit it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In moments like this where I know they can put lots of stuff in it,
Right.
or I'd make a grilled cheese sandwich with this,
Yeah.
or something like that, where they'll still eat it even though it's not the same. And then I have some sliced peppers here. These are the baby bell peppers, which are naturally super sweet. I mean, bell peppers are naturally sweet anyways, but the
Anyway,
baby bells even
they're
more so.
really sweet. Oh.
So good. The kids love them. And so I just have some sliced cucumbers, some sliced peppers. I'm going to slice and dice some tomatoes here.
And the colors are
Hello.
beautiful.
Yes, they're so good. Again, the more color, the better. Oh my goodness. Hi guys, come on in. So we also, something else easy you could do, some grated carrot. Sprinkle it on top there to give them some more something to put on. You could do, if you want to get fancy, use some leftover veggies.
Oh.
You know what I mean? If you made broccoli the night before and you've got some leftovers, use it.
Oh.
If you've got some, if you want to saute some squash, that's a great addition. If your family likes eggplant, or if you want to get your family to like eggplant, this is a great way to introduce it. This is a really good way to introduce some unusual ingredients to your family, especially because the kids can make them themselves. Now, if they're particularly picky, you know, they're not going to put it on there themselves. Right. So you might want to make some ahead of time. Okay. Mom, you got the power. You know what I mean? You can make them, you know, put this stuff on it yourself and make it how you want to make it, and try to get your kids to expand their horizons a little bit. I have found in my cooking classes that kids who are super duper picky, now I have a rule, before I finish this statement, I have a rule where everyone has to taste everything at least one time. You don't have to like it, you don't have to eat a whole plate full of it, but you do need to taste it.
Yes, I agree.
And when kids are involved in making their own food, they eat it more.
They do.
Especially vegetables. And it just rocks their little world, like, oh my gosh, broccoli's good.
Yeah.
You know, roasted broccoli is a thing of beauty.
Ooh.
Boiled,
roasted.
Roasted
with what? Olive oil?
Olive oil, salt and pepper. Super simple, and it's a dream. It's so good. We'll do that another time.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going off on broccoli here. And then just arrange it on your plate, you know? Again, this is super simple. I'm not getting fancy pants over here because moms are busy enough. I'm not here to tell you you need to overextend yourself to make your kids snacks. We're giving them 3 squares a day plus snacks. Like we don't need to kill ourselves just making a simple snack. Keep it easy, keep it realistic for what you would eat, what your kids would eat, and what you have time for. Okay? So then all we do here is just take our cracker. We're just going to smear on the Daiya cheese. Now again, if you're a major cheese lover, this is not going to fool you. It's not real cheese. Right. I'm just warning you guys. But keep an open mind, okay? Keep an open mind. I'm all about people just getting out of their comfort zones a little bit. Keep an open mind. I have some basil on it, some salt, some pepper. Now this is the Gouda style Daiya cheese. It's a mock Gouda. It's not the real thing, peeps.
Again,
but
where would you get that?
Health food stores have the Daiya cheese. Macy's, I would love for Macy's to carry Daiya. If I can talk them into it, I don't know if I'd be the only one who would buy it. So if you're open to this, please say something to the manager. Yeah, so that we could get some ordered here because it is so, so, so good. Make a grilled cheese sandwich with it, okay?
Ooh, okay.
They're sliced, they have a sliced cheddar and a sliced provolone, which so good. So, so, so good.
And your children love it?
Yes, my kids love it. My girls are crazy about it, and they are cheese fanatics. So they know what's up.
I love cheese too.
Yeah, and I get it. Cheese is delicious, but we can overdo the cheese.
It's creamy, melts in everything.
It's comforting, it's rich, it's so, so, so good.
Anything if it's got cheese on top.
Oh my gosh, which is why we put cheese on everything. Cheese on broccoli, and back to broccoli. Apparently I'm on a broccoli kick this evening. But yeah, you like?
Wow.
It's pretty good. It's crunchy. Sorry, give you.
It is, but
it's a big bite. And again, you can do any kind of combination of vegetables that you want. Just use what you have. I'm so glad you like it.
Yeah.
Use what you have. Make it doable for you.
It has the taste. Oh, and then with the cracker and the tomatoes and oh, wow.
I'm so glad you like.
Unexpected, you know?
Yep.
It was, yeah.
So the Daiya has a more grainy texture. The texture is where people kind of aren't big fans of it.
Yes.
Yeah, and if that texture bugs you, don't buy it.
Yeah, but
like
if your kids the flavor was...
Yeah, the flavor is good. It's the texture that people get hung up on. So if you're sensitive to that, if your kids are sensitive to it, they're not going to like it. Don't waste your money. Right. But if they're older... if they're more open-minded, if they like making their own stuff, they just might do it. And again, I'm not here to say dairy's bad. Right. By all means. Right. It's just...
But there's alternatives, and that's something I do. It's good to know.
Yeah, absolutely. I think. There are other things that we can eat. And again, a little extra salt and pepper. Put on the veggies if you want to. Make it a little more flavorful. You could easily customize the Daiya cheese. This is a very clean base. Right. We could mix in some fresh chives, fresh parsley, fresh basil.
So that can be the
the base. We could mix it, and you could treat it like a cream cheese. Right. And you could mix in some dried or some fresh herbs. Make it really come to life. Throw in some lemon juice, you know. Again, I'm keeping it very simple.
It's like for Christmas when people and send you, they give you those cheese balls things.
Yes, covered in the sliced almonds,
that's
and
right.
yeah.
You could have used this.
You sure
I
could.
think, yes, every bite's good for me.
Yep, throw in some Worcester sauce, some salt and pepper,
yeah.
some liquid smoke. You know, you could very easily mock a
This
real cheese ball.
Right, cheese ball.
But again, it's the
that's it.
texture. I'm not going to lie to you. The texture's different. It's more grainy. It's
really
not
like
as smooth.
that, yes.
But if that doesn't bother you, you're going to like this. If it does bother you, you're not going to like it, and that's okay. I'm not going to be offended.
I love that.
I'm so glad you like it.
Easy. So you could leave it like this, cellophane, put
Saran wrap, cellophane. Around it.
I know my kids will love that.
And this will sit for a day.
Right.
The tomatoes get a little sketchy after a day.
Then you could just throw it into there.
Yeah, mix it into there you go. See?
Look.
You know what's up.
I like it.
You're on the right track. So again, and whatever veggies you have on hand, just make it work for your family. Slice it up. See what you can do. But again, keep it realistic. I don't want anyone going home spending a bunch of money on stuff where they're like, we don't like it, you know what I mean? So, but I think most people would be able to find some kind of version of this that is realistic for their family, that their kids would like. Get some fresh veggies in.
And get some. Well, thank you so much, Chantel. That was wonderful. We even have an audience today.
Yay!
So we're so glad that you came, and
Thanks,
so glad
guys.
that you spent your time here. This is wonderful.
you.
For myself, I have 4 boys, and so this is something I know they will love.
I know.
As long as I put,
my hat is
for
off to you.
right?
You're amazing.
So, thank you again for
Thank you,
coming. That
Alpha.
was wonderful. And like I was saying, we're here every week here at Maceys Spanish Fork. Spanish Fork Maceys, whichever way. The Cooking Corner. We'd love to have you here at 7 p.m. every Thursday here at Maceys Spanish Fork. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.